Hey, ladies, welcome to Black Women Making Money. Oh, actually, let me move my microphone closer and say that louder for the ladies. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. Put your UMBWs in the chat so I can see you as everybody's coming in. If you're listening to the replay, put UMBW or replay in the comment section, and that way YouTube can know that you like this content. We're going to put our 60-second clock on, give people a chance to come in. And then we got a great conversation this evening about the mistake I made last week and the $500 billion plus AI investment that's happening. Tonight's conversation, I titled it Drill Baby Drill and Build Baby Build, because that's the energy that I'm getting from the first week in the Trump administration. I know there's a lot of other stuff happening as well, but this build baby build concept, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it a little bit more. So Legacy is in the building. Hello, my dear. We're going to give ourselves 90-second clock, give people a chance to come in, like the video, and then we are going to get started with tonight's session. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Where my UMBWs at, ladies? Put a 1 in the chat. If you're a UMBW, an upwardly mobile Black woman, you are about your money. You are about doing great things, and you don't care who's in the White House, who's in the governor's mansion, what's happening in the economy. You are going to get your money and your coins. If that's you, you're in the right place. I'm Cherie. This is Black Women Making Money. Living Lovin' is here today. Yes, ladies, put your 1s in the chat so I can see you. Definitely want to acknowledge all of my UMBWs. Purple Rain is in the house as well. This is my Loan Officer Breakfast Club shirt. Can't buy it. It has to be given to you. It's for a group that I am a part of. Yes, I am a loan officer, going to be 6 figures, hallelujah, this year, prayerfully. Should be, but I'm working my butt off. I am working hard. CJL is in the building, giving me that 1 for the UMBWs. Mackie, Black Women Making Money in the chat. And yes, it is getting real. Speaking of getting real, I made a mistake last week. And I listened to the replay of last week's session, and I was like, ooh, that was a mistake. And then Tam commented on it as well. And I said, okay, yeah. So I've got to come back and tell you ladies, I apologize because I made a mistake. And I won't even give you a chance to guess what it is. So I will tell you what it is. So last week we had our conversation about the year 2030 and the fact that, Donald Trump is potentially supposed to be leaving office January 2029. The decade's going to be over and so much is going to be happening by 2030. And we talked about all the things that were happening. And I said to you ladies, you need to be at $100 an hour by 2030. You need to be at $200,000 a year by 2030. And Tam corrected me. And even before she corrected me, I listened and re-listened and I knew I made a mistake. You need to be at $200,000 a year now. If you're not at $200,000 a year now, you need a 1 to 2 year plan to get to $200,000 a year or $100 an hour, like in the next 24 months. If you're not there now, or you're not able to get there in 6 months or 12 months, maximum UMBWs, maximum amount of time it should take you to get there strategically is 2 years. If you want to be in tech, go to see Women in Linux, right? Go to see TAM. If you want to be a loan officer, I'm going to do a session maybe next week talking about being a 6-figure loan officer. You could be a notary. You could be anything. Legacy, I reached out to you. I don't know if you're still here, but I reached out to you by email to talk to you about coming and talking about, helping people with the estates and the estate management. So, ladies, Tam is right. I was wrong. I made a mistake. I'm put my big girl panties on and say I made a mistake and I apologize. Hopefully you all can forgive me. Put a 2 in the chat if you forgive your girl, because 2030 is too late. We need to accelerate that process. Put a 2 in the chat if I'm forgiven. Thank you, Purple Rain. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for forgiving your girl. Because I was listening to the replay and I said, oh goodness. So Amber Brain is also saying congrats. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I wanted to talk about what I'm seeing in the market. So Purple Rain is saying at least you corrected yourself. I try. I try. I've had to come and do a couple of corrections with regards to, or clarifications or things like that. So I try. AP is asking, how are you guys determining these amounts and two? Oh, okay. So um, we are looking at it based on the amount of money that you need in order to live, survive, as well as invest and have enough money to invest so that you can be successful, and not have to. Well, first of all, the government isn't going to have Social Security when most of us get older anyway. So you have to have enough money in order to um, buy, pay your mortgage, pay your rent, whatever it is, as well as buy groceries, things like that. And then on top of that, have at least 15, 20, 25% of your income that can go into investments. So that is how we're getting that number, AP. And it is easier if you are married to an upwardly mobile man. Yes, it is infinitely easier if you have two people. But many of us are single women, or we live in expensive cities. So yeah, so that is where that number comes from. Okay. So the Trump administration has been boring for the past week. We haven't heard any news about anything. And yeah, there are a lot of different things that we could talk about. But as I've been listening to that, I've been, I basically, whenever Trump is talking about tariffs and all of that, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, right? But there was something that came out And it is about the $500 billion investment partnership that I haven't read this, but I think it may end up being a public-private partnership. There's some private capital going in, and there may be some public capital going into this as well. But I get the sense from yeah, like him, don't like him. I don't particularly care for Elon Musk, but Elon Musk and everything that's being discussed, Trump, everything that's being discussed, expanding to Greenland, retaking Panama, things like that, whether you like it or not, I get the sense that what is happening right now is America overall, the powers that be in America are concerned now more than ever about China overtaking America as a global superpower. And I am getting the sense that the Trump administration right now is on this build, baby, build mindset. America right now is on this build, baby, build mindset. Put a 3 in the chat if you get that sense from the news this week. And we can even say it was from, Vivek Ramaswamy and his poor comments, Elon Musk and his poor comments, whether or not you care about the H-1B visa program. But I'm just talking about overall what I'm seeing, what I'm sensing as I'm reading all of this stuff is this build baby build air. And UMBWs, we can participate in this, we can profit from it. I'm always telling you to be in the path of money and where money is flowing. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in artificial intelligence. I am a loan officer and I can serve those individuals who are moving to the places where the data centers are happening. They're going to be buying investment properties, things like that. There's going to be a lot of money flowing around. And over the next couple of years, so again, it's just the sense I'm getting. It's the drill, baby, drill. So it's going down into the earth, drill, baby, drill. And it's also build, baby, build, where we're going to see, the revitalization and the renaissance of America. Now, whether or not we believe it's actually going to happen, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, right? However, that's the sense that I'm getting. And again, I'm telling you to be in the path of money and where money is flowing, no matter if you are a notary, if you are an accountant, if you are an estate planning attorney, whatever it is you are, to think about build, baby, build and how you can participate in the massive amount of money that is going to be invested in the United States. Okay. Let's see here. So living, loving, and staying. Hey, Skynet is here, everyone, with the $500 billion. You guys need to know a very competent cybersecurity and defense tech person who can put you on game and help you out, or become that person. Become the competent cybersecurity person. Become the competent defense tech person. I want to do a session, maybe next week, maybe a couple of weeks from now. Actually, we may talk about it a little bit tonight. You ladies, let me know. Put a 4 in the chat if you want me to talk about it a little bit more tonight. I see a real need for AI consultants. Put a 4 in the chat if you want me to talk about it more tonight. Because I see where you can be a full-time 6-figure AI consultant in the next 12 months. It's something I had rattling around in my head anyway. So you all put a 4 in the chat if you want me to kind of roll out my thoughts and talk about it. But you can become this very competent cybersecurity person, this very competent defense tech person. You can. Or you get that person in your corner, like Live and Lovin' says. So, um, Purple Rain and Amethyst, you all get that feeling as I have as well, that there is this build baby build in the air. So I should have asked if you all thought that I was off my rocker as well. I apologize for that. Purple Rain is saying, but I'm wondering how the microchips will be affected by the tariffs since they're manufactured overseas. I I'm not so sure the tariffs are coming. Personally, this is how I treat Trump. 85% of what he says, he's just talking. This is how I look at it. I don't think the tariffs are coming, or if they do come, it is going to be a natural part of inflation. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about the microchips, which is also the reason why I say to all of you individually that you need to be at $100 an hour or $200,000 a year in income. That way, if the microchips go up by, like, let's say your personal computer, you want to buy a new laptop, and the one that you want to buy goes up by $100, $200. It's no sweat off you individually. So that's how I think. Um, Purple Rain is saying, but I don't think this is all going to happen in less than 4 years. No, no, no. This is a long-term play. Long-term play. They're looking probably at a decade. They're looking at it, but we talked about, like, hey, Trump gets this started. Who knows if there's a JD Vance presidency? And the truth is, even if there's a Democrat, God help if it's Gavin Newsom, but some Democrat out there, they're not going to say, "Oh, we're no longer going to have the $500 billion in investment." No, they're just gonna let it roll, let it keep going. So, but no, this is going to be a long term thing. They are. I get the feeling that America right now and the powers that be, the deep state, all of the people running around, I'm not just going to say Washington, but the powerful, the oligarchy, are preparing for um, a cybersecurity domination war against China. That's my opinion, based on everything that I'm seeing. And they want to have the best talent, quote unquote, the best talent. So they're still going to import their H-1B visas and all of that. They are also playing defense as well. Many of you may have seen that China now has released this DeepSeek AI. So this is the next front. This is like D-Day or Normandy. Um, this is the next level, right? My opinion, though, is we can take advantage of that. So, yeah, Meta wants to do everything. I have my thoughts about that. So Kat wants to hear my discussion about being an AI consultant. So we are going to talk about that. Shar is in the building, reminding everybody, sign up for exclusive content at bwmakingmoney.com. CJL is saying, I agree with going where the money is going in mental health, and there's billions of dollars being poured in, not to mention how many people are stressed and having mental health challenges. Absolutely. Absolutely. Scarlett is in the building. Good evening. And Live and Love is saying, yep, look at Andrew Palmer Luckey, the creator of Oculus Rift, is the brother-in-law of Matt Bartz, which is why he was nominated. Or is that Matt Gaetz? Big tech wants the Pentagon, not the government. Yes, they do. That's where the money is. That's where the money resides. Where the money resides. So what I want to do is I want to go over a couple of these articles with you here. So this is from the Associated Press a few days ago. Trump highlights partnership investing $500 billion in AI. And he's got three people here on the screen. So the guy closest to him is a Japanese billionaire. Japanese billionaire. He leads something called SoftBank. SoftBank is one of the biggest investors in like startup businesses, growing businesses, etc. They had, I think, it was like $100 billion fund where they were actually trying to give money to Black people a couple of years ago. I don't know if they dissolved it or not. It was either 100 million or 100 billion. I can't remember. Um, Maybe it was 100 million. But yeah, SoftBank does a lot of investing. SoftBank is putting up $100 billion. Of the $500 billion, SoftBank is putting up $100 billion. They're putting up 20% of this. The guy in the middle is a guy named Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison runs Oracle. Okay. Oracle, if you don't know, is a very, very well used business. This is billions and billions and billions of dollars here. And the guy on the right is a guy named Sam Altman. And if you use ChatGPT, he is the CEO of the company OpenAI that owns ChatGPT and a whole bunch of other um, sub businesses and sub products under ChatGPT. You all know who's not in here. I'm going to give you all a chance to tell me who's not on this in this picture. Who's not in this picture? He has beef with Sam Altman, though. He and Sam Altman can't stand each other. You all see who's not in this picture. Yes, Elon. Elon. He is not in this picture. Some sort of way, his invitation was left out. They lost it in the mail. Elon or Zuck, but Elon more importantly, Elon is not in this picture. So they are investing $500 billion in something called Stargate. Okay. And Stargate is a lot of data centers and the AI infrastructure. Now, I got very curious because I said, well, that's interesting. Japan is deciding, and according to this article, the Japanese banker did a lot of buttering up of Trump, just like everybody else does, right? But I said, well, this is interesting that Japan and this Japanese billionaire is choosing to invest in the United States artificial intelligence infrastructure. So that's very interesting. There's a lot that's happening in Japan. There's a lot that's not happening in Japan, i.e., their birth rate, right? We don't know what's going to happen in Japan over the next 100 years or so with regard to their birth rate. But the AI, $500 billion, the AI infrastructure that's being built here now is something that they are preparing for the next century. Just like all the stuff that Elon is doing is like, we're planning for the next century, right? And there's a lot of money moving around in America. And it is going to be build, baby, build time. Drill, baby, drill, which is you're going down into the earth, and build, baby, build. We're building up right now, right? Mr. Shelley's in the building wondering why Elon and Mark wasn't invited. It's because Sam Altman cannot stand Elon Musk. And Elon's invitation was probably lost in the mail. Now, why Mark Zuckerberg was not invited? I don't know, but I will show you this. I'm actually going to show you, well, no, I'm going to show you this because you asked the question. I'm going to show you this here. Zuckerberg is doing his own investments. Move this here so you can see. Mark Zuckerberg and Meta is putting $60 billion in 2025, 1 year, $60 billion into artificial intelligence. So part of the reason, Mentor Shelley, that I think that Zuckerberg wasn't there was just because he's doing his own thing. He and Meta are doing their own thing. I was looking around for other companies that are putting in big money. Microsoft is putting in their own budget of big money into AI. I'm sure a lot of other companies as are doing it as well. But with the data centers, with the AI infrastructure that's going to be happening, there's just going to be a lot of money coming in. And this is definitely a build, baby, build time. So, Notary World is saying DeepSeek was able to build a $5 million open source compared to ChatGPT $1 billion investment. This is so interesting. Yes. So the race is really, and look, let me tell you, ChatGPT is shook, I believe, because of DeepSeek. And a lot of American companies are shook because of DeepSeek. Now, I'm not a first person to get on the bandwagon thing. So I want to see how it all shakes out over the next year. But these individuals are serious. They are serious about physical infrastructure. They are physical about, they are serious about potentially expanding if they can. Who knows if they will or not, expanding their footprint. And they are serious about dominating. And Notary World, with her notary business, can get her little piece of it. I, with my loan officer business, can get my little piece of it. Mentor Shelley, being an HR consultant to small companies, can get her little piece of it. I'm just encouraging you to be in the path of money. Erica Williams and Dr. Dix, of course, talks about, I saw a portion of their conversation last week where Dr. Dix was saying, I told you in 2020 to get these certifications and these degrees. Here it is, right? We are going to do a session over the next month or so about the fact that the WASP will tell you 10 years beforehand what's coming, and most of us aren't paying attention. I'm here to say that this is happening now, and you can eat for the next decade to 2 decades if you play this right. If you play it right. Mentor Shelley is saying, yeah, we have to do the same. Build, baby, build. Absolutely. The tech beef is the best soap opera as of right now. Yes. It's going to be great because it's going to be front and center for the next 4 years. Yes, it is. So I am interested to see if Trump and Elon can keep their romance together. I know there's probably some gambling sites with regards to how long it's going to take for all of that to fall apart. But, let's see what happens. But yeah, Zuckerberg is putting $60 billion into the growth. And of course, we know that $500 billion is being put in based on SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI, ChatGPT. I wanted to also say, because I was just curious, I said, well, SoftBank, which is a Japanese company, is putting in $100 billion into US infrastructure. How much are they putting into their own? Because I was curious. According to this, It says they're putting in 65 billion. So they're putting in less money. This is just Japan. Who knows? Maybe there's some other um, private corporations in Japan putting in more, but they're putting in less money in Japan. The Japanese company is putting less money in Japan than they are in the United States. To me, that says a lot as well. There's a group of people that are banking on the United States, that are betting on the United States. And we're here already. We're here. This is the land of opportunity. So, very telling. Yes, yes, it is. So that's me. That's how my little brain works. I'm like, well, I wonder. Well, I wonder. So let's go up here a little bit. Mentor Shelley is saying, I don't know if their quote relationship will last too much longer. We'll see. I'm sure there's some betting odds somewhere with regard to that. We'll see. We'll see. So Dr. Dix has a $300 consultation fee, according to Notary World. He is not playing, and nor should he. You can charge $300 for your consultation fee. Why not? If you have the expertise and you have something that people want, and we are going to talk later on about how you can become an AI consultant, because a lot of my UMBWs, won't say a lot, most of you can become an AI consultant. I will say that. But I do think that there are a few of you in this audience tonight that if you play your cards right, you could be a six-figure AI consultant in the next 12 months. And we're going to talk about that. Remind me if I forget. Remind me. So, we got Donald Watts in the building. Thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat. Thank you. Notary World is saying, it seems like being a millionaire is the new 100,000 and being a billionaire and trillionaire status is the goal. So I will admit, for me, I have no interest in being a billionaire or trillionaire. But yeah, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to live very comfortably. I want to have cash flowing assets for my retirement. Absolutely. I don't want to be a billionaire because it's not my thing. I'm not trying to work that hard. So, Scarlett's saying, when would you say is the absolute latest to get in on this AI investment? I don't foresee my career pivot coming to full fruition until 2027, 2028, looking into AI jobs. So, look, Tam from Women in Linux or Dr. Dix is a better person to ask than I am. I still feel like there will be opportunity in 2027 to 2028. So, let me then show you this. And I showed you this last week as well, Scarlett. 41% of companies worldwide plan to reduce their workforces by 2030 due to AI. 41%, right? So if your career pivot, even if it happens in 2028, you're going to be in the midst of all these companies moving and transitioning based on people either needing to reskill or they're going to get out of the way. Also, this is another thing that I want to show you, so you have perfect time with asking this. 39% of current job skills are predicted to become obsolete by 2030. 92 million jobs are going to be lost globally. So again, if your full career pivot happens in 2027, 2028, I still personally believe that you will be okay. Now, here's what I will say to you, Scarlett. Start doing stuff now to get experience within AI some sort of way. If you do some sort of gigs, if you go onto Fiverr and put yourself out there to do gigs, If you go to networking events at the Chamber of Commerce or whatever industry you're in, and you put yourself out there, even if someone pays you just a couple $100, get some industry experience, because Mentor Shelley and I talk about this all the time, all the time. These companies do not want to hire you if you have no experience. They don't want to train you if you have no experience. So you're in a good spot now from 2025 to 2028, let's say, or 2025 to 2027. Get some projects under your belt and network, network, network. If you are child free, you should be networking in the AI space at least once a week. If you have a child or children, once a month. But you, in my opinion, you will not get these AI jobs if you don't know anybody. You will not get these AI jobs if you don't know anybody. So, once a week, if you're child free, going out and actually networking with people, asking people if they have a project you can get on, even if it's a couple $100s that they're paying you, don't worry about that. Get the experience, put your experiences on LinkedIn, let people see you, things like that. By the time 2027, 2028 comes around, you'll be in a good spot. And if I'm saying anything wrong, Mentor Shelley, let me know. Let me know. I would also suggest you connect with Dr. Dix or connect with Tam at Women in Linux to ask more questions, because I'm not the tech person around here, but that would be my response to you, Scarlett. Let's see what you all are saying in here. Donald saying, keep doing what you're doing, watching from the clouds. Thank you so much. I appreciate my men. I appreciate the fellas coming in here. Thank you for supporting the channel. And Scarlett saying, yes, I did catch last week's replay. Good, good. Notary World is saying, I was thinking about doing AI news. My name will be Pretender AI. I love it. And Donald is saying, go for it. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit tonight. You all can remind me if I forget about how you can become an AI consultant, because I think it's easy. I think it's easy, and I think the time to do it is now. So Mackie is saying heal careers, which is healthcare, education, administration, and literacy, will still be needed even in the age of AI. Women in heal will still do well, according to McKinsey's report, Black Women and the Future of Work. I agree with this. There's a guy that I used to follow years ago. And he used to say that the more high tech the world gets, the more high touch the world gets. Put a 5 in the chat if you all remembered seeing my session with the professional cuddler. This was a couple of weeks ago. We played it. We played the session where the woman was the professional cuddler. And we talked about the fact that so many people are so lonely that they're paying people to be their friends. They're paying people to cuddle them, non-sexual, just cuddle. So you all remember this, right? So going back to what Mackie is saying here, the more high tech the world gets, the more high touch the world is going to be. I also did the session where I told you the Wall Street people were paying their therapist psychologists $700 an hour, right? So there's a lot of money here. So, again, just putting yourself in the spaces. But Mackie is absolutely right with regards to that. So, Live Another is saying, Musk is funny. There are rumors going around that they pushed him out like Ramaswamy, but not as hard. I don't believe that. But Musk won't care as much since he owns most of the satellites in space. Yeah, I don't think he was pushed out. I don't think he was pushed out yet. It would not surprise me if he's pushed out, but I don't think he was pushed out yet. Um, Donald Trump told the public that Elon hates Sam Altman. I didn't hear that, but I'm not surprised. Donald Trump is just as messy. He is messy. Yes, Sam Altman was involved in Y Combinator. So most of you may not know what Y Combinator is. It is the place where a lot of startups go, like some of the best of the best of the best, or a lot of the best of the best of the best multi-billion dollar startups get their funding and their footing through Y Combinator. Y Combinator is in San Francisco, and people go there. Like, you have to apply. It's very competitive to get in. You have to have a startup idea, and then they will put money into your business. You go live in San Francisco, but they like pay for your living expenses and things like that. And then you will, like, based on the success of the trial of your idea, they'll put more money into you. And a lot of big companies at some point will do a session on Y Combinator. A lot of big companies have come from Y Combinator. A lot of our billion-dollar names that we will recognize come from Y Combinator. So um, you're saying here Paul Graham is his mentor. Graham passed on the reins to him, and Y Combinator is where some of the biggest tech companies come out of. Yeah, absolutely. So there's that other guy. He says he's black. I don't know. He looks kind of mixed to me. That is part of Y Combinator as well. He's been there for years. So yeah, SoftBank also lost a lot of money with WeWork, but they've put a lot of money in to a lot of companies that are thriving. So don't sleep on SoftBank. Yeah, DeepSeek just tanked the market. I'm a take a step back and see what happens. So we'll see what happens over the next few months with DeepSeek, sorry, see what happens. So, alrighty then. You all are saying more stuff down here. Let's see what you're saying. Yes, loneliness is a public health epidemic. Absolutely. Liv and Lum is saying young women in college better be getting the STEM degrees, do the humanities or social stuff as a minor. Ideally, when UMBW in college go out, one event should be soft skills and the other tech. I agree with this. If you were to ask me, like, hey, Cherie, what should I study? I would agree that you should, if possible, study STEM. You should. So, or if you're going to study psychology, like, have it wrapped up in some sort of a computer degree, or, you know, something like that. So um, I do know a woman who is getting her bachelor's degree in like digital media. So, but there does need to be some sort of a STEM portion to it. So, um, I also have a plan to take advantage of that human touch vacuum that tech leaves behind. Good for you. And you're saying not as a cuddler. Look, for the cuddlers, people who want to be cuddlers, I just say know what you're doing, right? We had that whole conversation about that. Notary World is saying I asked ChatGPT who was the most educated and said Black women. We're mainly in the healthcare field. I asked about Asians. They are educated but have the most money. Yeah, so we need to get more money, Notary World. We can be the most educated, but if we don't have the most money, then we can't really shift things like we want to. So Scarlett is saying I use ChatGPT to help me plan my pivot into AI based on my current skills. Love it. Living up is saying I want Black women to start inventing more things. We have to get the bag and innovate as well as patent. I agree with that. Renee, hi, good to see you. I hope you talk about Tabitha in another video. I did see the information about Tabitha. I will tell you right now that I understand where she's coming from. I also don't believe that Black people are going to boycott Target and Walmart that long. From what I know about Tabitha, especially her seasonings, they're with McCormick. So, like, I'm wondering how much control she actually has. And she may have gotten a phone call and been pushed in front of everybody in order to say the things that she said. So I got a lot of thoughts about Tabitha. Um, and I'm not faulting her for what she said. I think it was, realistic for her to say, look, you may go and boycott Target, you may go and boycott Walmart, but if you boycott our products as Black people and as Black women, we will not get a second chance to get back on the shelves. So I can appreciate that. I don't have a problem with it at all. So I was never boycotting Target. You have never seen boycott Target anywhere on my channel. I don't go to Walmart, but even with Walmart, like, no, no. We've had the conversations on this channel about DEI. In fact, one of our subbies who hasn't been around for a while, she texted me and she's like, I'm seeing all this stuff and I thought of you. You're so right from a couple of years ago. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So you ladies keep telling me I was right. But look, the writing was on the wall with regards to DEI. So if you listen to what I say, you'll make it. You listen to what I say, you'll make it. So Mentor Shelley is saying Tabitha's under contract with Target and Walmart for another year. So she says, and she's not leaving that Target and Walmart money. She's not. She ain't doing it. Go leave Target and Walmart, Mentor Shelley, and go where? To do what? With who? To have her stuff on her own website that people may or may not purchase if they think about going to her website to purchase. Like, really? Come on. Come on. Come on. CGL is saying the boycotting approach never lasts. It's a different time when we are too integrated and less self-sustaining. That's true. It's true. Notary World is saying my niece's boyfriend is a major in kinesiology. I told him to change his major to engineering or accounting. She got mad at me for telling him that. Girl, mind your business. You look, you tell people one time if they are not interested, mind your business. And yes, education only gets you so far. Your multicultural networks are going to be 2 to 3 times more important than your education. I want you to have your education because when HR starts wanting to look for reasons not to bring you in, I want you to have your education. But if you don't know anybody, I'm telling you, if you don't know anybody, and if people don't know you, and if people don't like you, forget it. Forget it. Let's see here. What else are you all saying? Mr. Shelley is saying I can't blame her, Tabitha, for her stance on the whole thing. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Donald is saying for the boyfriend, he should at least minor in something that broadens his scope. I agree. But, you can't tell anybody anything. So, yeah, look, it's build, baby, build time. In these United States of America, it's build, baby, build time. We've got the $500 billion investment. We've got the Meta investment of $60 billion just this year. Microsoft is investing a lot of money. A lot of these companies, both domestic and abroad, are investing in the United States AI infrastructure. Now, I wish they would invest in our physical infrastructure as well, but that's for another day, right? But the money is about to be made. So I promise you, ladies, I would tell you about being an AI consultant. And this is just me. This is just Cherie talking on the internet with regards to what you're able to do. Don't ask me any of the terms, the AI terms, or anything like that, because I don't know them. But what I do know is how to start and build a successful business. So put a 6 in the chat if that's what you want to hear. Put a 6 in the chat if you want to hear how to start and grow a successful 6-figure AI consulting business. All right, my 6s are coming in. Thank you so much. Okay, all righty, ladies. So this is what you need to do. If you don't know anything about AI today, you're going to need to spend 100 hours studying and learning about AI. You're going to spend part of that 100 hours reading news articles. You're going to spend part of that 100 hours getting on ChatGPT and playing around with it. You're going to spend part of that 100 hours taking a couple of classes with regards to prompting and things like that. You may spend part of that 100 hours looking at how AI is going to affect your industry. But you need to invest 100 hours in just education and learning. Okay. And you may say, Cherie, that's going to take forever. So let's break it down. It could take you a month if you take 15 to 20 minutes out of your day, a couple of times a day, and just read something. If you have Google alerts coming, that's around artificial intelligence and AI and maybe your industry, and as articles come in and you're sitting in the bathroom, on the toilet, on the toilet in the morning or in the evening, like read the articles, as you're doing that. As you are working out, you could be listening to an AI podcast. So there's a lot of different things that you could do as you're doing the dishes and vacuuming and things like that, doing double duty, but learning about it, spending 100 hours. And yeah, I would say take a month to learn, right? And then going into ChatGPT or DeepSeek, or if decide, hey, I'm really into the graphics piece of it, then ChatGPT has the image creator. If you're really into the voice piece of it, testing those things out, going to 11 labs, like testing these things out and just saying, I'm going to take a month and I'm going to learn as much as I can, and I'm going to drill down into some area of AI that fascinates me. A couple of examples that I've seen people do. My First Million is a podcast. Put a 7 in the chat if you all have ever heard of My First Million, the podcast. Put an 8 in the chat if you've never heard of it. 7 in the chat if you've heard of My First Million, the podcast. 8 in the chat if you have not. So, hey, Salute. Hey, Alonso. So y'all are putting 7s. Good. So you're my ladies. You're my people. Great. Fantastic. Okay. So the Indian guy, Sean, on My First Million, Donald, Alonso, y'all need to start listening to My First Million. I think both of you will really like that podcast. You can find it on YouTube or anywhere where podcasts are. The Indian guy, Sean, pays his AI consultant $500 a week for an hour of his time. And that AI consultant will basically come to a meeting with Sean and let him know all of the new AI use cases that's happening out there, things that's happening out there, etc. So basically, the guy all he has to do is go, like he's knee deep in it anyway, right? So he sees all the articles, he's on Twitter, looking at what people are talking about with regards to AI. He pulls that information together and he feeds it to Sean for $500 a week. If you think Sean is his only client, I highly doubt it, right? CEOs would come to you. Industry leaders would come to you in order for you to tell them, like, hey, What's happening with AI in healthcare? What's happening with AI and data privacy? What's happening with AI and lending? There's a guy that does artificial intelligence for loan officers and realtors, right? So that could be your thing, right? You could do it based on the industry. Um, the other thing, and this is a person that I would hire, I would love to hire somebody who can just help me one on a Zoom master ChatGPT. And I would pay for that. And there are a whole lot of other people that would pay for that as well. So here's ultimately what you're trying to do. And let me put this here. You want to capture a portion of this 39% of people whose skills are going to be obsolete by 2030 because of artificial intelligence. And some of those individuals are going to be people who um, are older or just don't have the patience to sit and like read through stuff and test stuff and want to learn. I just want to come to a Zoom. You and I talk about like, hey, okay, Cherie, I'm going to show you how to do this in ChatGPT based on your business, things like that. We set it up. And I come to you every week and you show me the new thing of the week that I can like go into my chat gpt. You're looking on the screen with me, you're like, click there, do this, do that, here's how you change this, etc. I'm telling you you could make $50 to $100 an hour from people wanting to, like, all you do is you become the chat gpt prompt expert helping people. And you can either help people for $50 to $100, for, or let's say 20 to maybe $50 an hour. If you are a general consultant, or you could charge $50 to $200 an hour if you focus on an industry or something super like focused, right? So tell me what you think of this thus far. Tell me what you think of this thus far. What do you think of this idea? I'm going to wait for you to put your responses in. I'm going to wait for you to put your responses in. Mentor Shelley is saying, I'll be testing AI even more than I already have. Yeah. And there are going to be people like Mentor Shelley who are going to get stuck in some part of AI and going to want an AI coach or an AI consultant to help break her through that, right? Part of the 39% of people whose current job skills are going to be obsolete are going to have the money to pay you, but they're going to want those one-on-one sessions with you. Donna's saying, I think it definitely works, but along with AI, we probably need some sort of base to work off of. That's true. So this is where your marketing comes in. So you could start a YouTube channel and you could have 10 to 15-minute videos showing people different things that they're able to do. And trust me, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me. I used to tell people exactly how to write a business plan. And people would still call me and say, but I don't have the time. I don't know how to do it. Can you help me, etc. And I was paid very good money. You could show people like how to do stuff, let's say in ChatGPT, but now you've got DeepSeek and now you've got Claude and now you've got these other uh, products that people are able to use. You could show it to them and say, but contact me if you want to know more. And people will contact you and say, but I want you to show me how to do it. Right? So Mentor Shelley is saying great ideas. Yeah. So if you charge $150 per hour, if you find a good niche and you charge $150 per hour, and or $150 even for a half hour, because some of you are so valuable in the niche you're going after, you could charge $150 for a half hour. You could have 13 clients per week and make $100,000. That could be a side business. Now, some of you may say, well, you know what? I don't want to have 13 people a week. I want to have 5 people a week. Well, great. You could have a side business for 3 to 5 hours per week, making $50,000, plus the time it takes for you to, keep up with your AI skills and know what's happening within ChatGPT or whatever the software is. A while ago, I did a session on how to be a micro consultant on my YouTube channel. How to be a micro consultant. That's something that you can definitely go back and take a look at, because micro consultants can make $100 to $200 an hour. I do think that any of us and all of us, even I, if I wanted to, could take this idea, become an AI consultant, hang your shingle within a month. Start off with clients, saying, hey, $20 to work with you for an hour, half hour, because you're going to learn a lot, right? You take the first couple of months, you charge $20, then you charge $30, then you charge $50, then you're able to charge $100 as you get better and better and better. I'm 100% sure that being an AI consultant, if you, do your marketing right, it's going to work. It's going to work. If you do your marketing right, if you're consistent with your videos, like I said, you could put your videos on YouTube, which is probably the better place to put them, because as people are frustrated, as they're looking for solutions, YouTube is a great place to have all of your videos. YouTube is a search engine, and people are going to be looking for assistance. Purple Rain is saying perplexly, AI is another one. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one, but again, you could decide based on the specific program that's out there, or you could choose an industry and you say you help, across multiple platforms, for people who want to figure out AI for healthcare or being a loan officer or whatever it is. So 6 paid engagements per week at $150 each makes you $50,000. You could do that part-time. If you want to be full-time, which some of you could be, stay home with your children, you can do that. So that is the show for the week. Anybody else have anything else to say? Put your exclamation points in the chat. Let me know if you enjoyed tonight's session. Build Baby Build is here. I'm getting the vibe and the feeling that is Build Baby Build. At least over the next 2 years, we're going to see this huge push for Build Baby Build. And all I want you to do is be in the path of money. Be in the path of money. So thank you for the exclamation points. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay, Mackie. We don't talk about the manosphere over here. We're about our coins. So, but yes, ladies, beware. Self-care sisters uni saying wonderful advice. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. You can take my advice and you can do very well. And Scarlett, this is actually probably the best idea for you. You could hang your shingle. You could start consulting people. And by the time 2027 rolls around, you could be like one of the top premier people with regards to AI in your pivot. So, alrighty then, ladies. Thank you so much. I will see you next Monday for another money session. Next Monday it's probably going to be a messy money topic because I've got a good one. And yeah, we're going to have a good time next week. All right, ladies, take care. Bye.